A struggling waitress asks the billionaire, "Sir, why is my DNA test in your safe?" The scent of fresh coffee and sizzling bacon filled the dimly lit diner, where the hum of early morning conversations blended with the clatter of dishes. Mia Carter wiped her hands on her apron and let out a weary sigh. She had been on her feet since dawn, like every other day. The struggle was endless: rent, bills, her mother's medical expenses. Then, the door chimed, and he walked in. Nathaniel Pierce. Billionaire. Philanthropist. The man whose name was always in the headlines, cutting deals and changing lives. He was out of place in the tiny roadside diner with his tailored suit and quiet power. Mia had only seen him from afar, on TV, in magazines, but today, he was here, seated in her section. She hesitated before approaching. "Good morning, sir. What can I get you?" He looked up, and for a moment, something flickered in his gaze. Recognition? Sadness? "A coffee." "Black," he said. She nodded and turned to leave, but his voice stopped her. "Mia Carter, right?" She froze, her heart pounding. "How do you know my name?" Nathaniel hesitated, then pulled out a sleek black envelope and slid it across the table. "Because I have something that belongs to you." Confused, she picked it up and carefully opened it. Inside was a folded piece of paper, a DNA test result. Her hands trembled as she read the names. Her name. And his. Her breath caught. "Why is my DNA test in your safe?" Nathaniel sighed, running a hand through his graying hair. "Because I've been keeping a secret for over 20 years. A secret I should have told you the moment I found out." Mia felt like the world had tilted. "What are you saying?" "I'm your father." The words hit her like a wave, crashing against every memory of growing up without one. The eviction notices, the nights spent by her mother's hospital bed, the birthdays that passed unnoticed. "No," she whispered, shaking her head. "That's impossible. My mother." "Your mother was the love of my life," Nathaniel said softly. "But when she got pregnant, I was a selfish man, too focused on my ambition. I left. And when I finally came back, she was gone." He swallowed hard. "I spent years searching for you. And when I finally found you, you were struggling, waiting tables, working yourself to exhaustion. I wanted to help, but I was afraid you'd hate me." Tears burned in Mia's eyes. "So you just watched me suffer?" Nathaniel's voice cracked. "I donated to your mother's hospital anonymously. Paid off some of your debts. But it wasn't enough. I was a coward. I wanted to step in so many times, but I didn't know how." Mia's fists clenched, anger and hurt battling inside her. "You had everything, and you let me grow up with nothing." He nodded, his expression broken. "I can't change the past. But I can change the future, if you let me." He reached into his pocket and placed a key on the table. "This is yours. A house. A fresh start. And a place in my life, if you want it." Mia stared at the key. The part of her that had suffered, that had grown up believing she was alone, wanted to push it away. But another part, the little girl who had always wished for a father, ached for the chance to know him. Tears slipped down her cheeks. "I don't know if I can forgive you," she whispered. Nathaniel nodded, his own eyes glistening. "I don't expect you to. I just hope, one day, you'll let me try." For the first time in her life, Mia wasn't alone. The road ahead was uncertain, but maybe, just maybe, it led somewhere brighter. And for the first time in his life, Nathaniel Pierce had found something money could never buy, a second chance.